Amen.
Before I get started, I want to talk about this this movie that I caught the ending of. Actually, earlier this week, it was called Left Behind, um, World at War, and I was actually flicking through the channels I didn't know it was on, and then when I caught it, it was at the last about 5 minutes of the movie, and what it basically what had happened was like these people were sick, and this guy, he was actually dying, but his dying wish was to make sure that these three people that were around him got saved. And so what he basically did was he gave them communion, and he pretty much presided over the communion, and he knew the scripture by heart and did it all. And then as he got ready to go home, they all took the communion, and then that's when he died. And so what really touched me about it was that how how some people can, it's that much love in the world where I don't really know you, but I want you to know what I found. Even though I found it late, I still found it. And so he pretty much died because he died giving the love, showing people the love of God. And what I want to talk about today is love, question mark. And for a subtext, I'm going to say, how deep is your love?
All right now.
If you can turn with me to the book of St. John, chapter 3, verse 16. And it reads as follows. Oh, sorry. When you get this name.
Amen.
3:16. And it reads as follows. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Thus ends the reading of God's word. The word love is thrown around loosely these days. People seem to have lost respect for it. In lots of cases, it's not done on purpose. It's just some of us have forgotten the true meaning of love and how to express it. And there are 4 types of love. And they are eros, philos, storge, and agape. And right now we're going to start with eros love. Eros love is the physical, sensual love between a husband and wife. What were the last 2 words I said? Okay. And if we can, well, you don't have to turn it, but First Corinthians chapter 7, verses 8 through 9. Now to the unmarried and to the widows I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I do. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. These verses are speaking on fornication, and eros love is not intended for that purpose. It said husband and wife, not boyfriend and girlfriend, Mr. or Mistress. A movie that I really like and I thought it was funny. It has Bishop T.D. Jakes in it. Is Jumping the Broom. And in the beginning of the movie, basically the girl, the main star of the movie, she had just got finished fornicating with a young man, and she wanted to get out of the situation, so she prayed to God and made a promise to God. If you get me out of the situation with some dignity, I will save myself until I get married. And that's pretty much what she ended up doing. Once she met her future husband, and she told him straight up, we're not doing this until we get married. And that's pretty much, she stuck to her guns. And that's how we, you know, that's how we are supposed to be. That's how God really wants us. Is He wants us to save ourselves until we get with our future wives or our future husbands, because it's just something that, you know, it's just something sacred that He has for us. But the problem is that Eros love gets tricky sometimes because it's based mostly on physical attraction. And a person can say they're falling in love with a woman because she looked like an angel. Or a woman can fall in love with a guy because he's intelligent, good looking, and has good breeding, or etc. And they get too caught up in the romance of it all that they don't give it time to blossom into a higher level of love. And God created humans, male and female, and instituted marriage in the Garden of Eden. Within marriage, physical love is used for emotional and spiritual bonding and for reproduction, and it's a necessary part for a healthy marriage. Not relationship, but marriage. And basically, it's basically like you're sharing your spiritual selves with each other. Like your spirits are connected. That shows that you're becoming one with each other. Now, if you didn't go too far in Eros love, or you just have that one friend in the whole world, you will fall apart. Your whole world will fall apart without you're feeling Philos love. Philos love is love based on friendship. For couples, it's the next level after Eros love. You didn't get too caught up in the romance of it, and your better half or your future better half is your best friend, or it's just that friend that's there whenever you need them. I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning, crying on the phone, they will sit up and listen to you. You can really see a great example of this type of love in 1 Samuel chapter 18, which discusses the love between David and Jonathan.
Yes, Lord.
King Saul was doing everything in his power to have David killed, and Jonathan did everything in his power to protect his friend from his father. Romans 12:10 says, "Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor." Philos love is based on give and take, where two people benefit each other in a mutual way. One partner is still concerned with what he or she can take, but at the same time is also concerned with his or her partner's benefit and therefore gives back in return. Whereas in Eros love, it's just about a take. It's just like, what can you do for me? Well, I love you because of what you do for me. It's not about what we can do for each other. Therefore, this is why Philos love is a higher level of love than Eros. But just like Eros, Philos has to develop into another form of love. We have Storge love, which is family love. The bond among mothers, fathers, daughters, sisters, and brothers, and sons. Many examples of family love are found in Scripture, such as the love and mutual protection between Noah and his wife, their sons and daughter-in-laws in Genesis, the love of Jacob for his sons, and the strong love the sisters Mary and Martha had for their brother Lazarus. Exodus 20:12 reads, "Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land of the Lord in the land your Lord God has given to you." This love is charging us to respect our parents. That's a big part of love, respect. If we don't respect ourselves, how can we love ourselves? If we don't respect our families, how can we say we love our families? Love and respect go hand in hand. That's really what Storge love is all about. Respecting our families and looking out for one another.
Amen.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, we're still family.
Amen.
All of these loves have their own strength, but none of them compare to the ultimate type of love.
Come on, son.
The kind of love that will make someone come off their throne, look at their people in trouble,
Yes.
and volunteer to go to earth and help save them. Travel down 42 generations of virgin tracks and stop in a little town called Bethlehem. Be born in a manger, grow in stature, and do his father's work for about 33 and a half years.
All right.
All the while knowing what he had to ultimately do. He was betrayed by a friend and arrested, marched from judgment hall to judgment hall, an innocent man guilty of spreading love. He was whipped all night long. They placed a crown of thorns on his head that pierced his skin. They nailed his hands and feet, and he gave up the ghost. That is agape love, unconditional, selfless, sacrificial love. This is the highest of the four types of love. John 3:16 said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." Jesus gave his life so that we could have life. That's the greatest love of all. How many of us can actually say that we have someone in our lives that we would be willing to step in if something, no matter what the situation is? I love this person that much that I'm willing to step in and protect them and sacrifice risk my own life to help them. That's what he did. He stepped in because he already knew us, and he stepped in and took on our sin, our troubles. A price that we couldn't pay, he paid it for us. That's what he did. And he didn't have to do it, but he did it because he loves us. That's the ultimate type of love. He was buried in a broad tomb and rose again 3 days later. It took 3 days because he had other matters to tend to. He went and he got the keys and led captivity captive. He stayed on earth for a little while, then he had to go. He told everyone there not to worry because he will be back again. So in closing, just remember to be careful with your use of the word love. Ask yourself, what type of love do you have for this person? Is it eros, just for your own benefit? Is it philos? Do you have a mutual benefit? Is it storge? Do I respect this person as my family, or do I respect myself and my family? Or is it agape? Is this someone that I would lay down my life for to protect? And again, I ask, how deep is your love?
Huh.